The Fact Finders, The Stalker Case, by Sylvester Scoe-Forru. The halls of Theodore Money High School buzzed with whispers about the twin detectives who just cracked the hidden cameras case. Gigi and Fifi, the fact finders, had exposed a scheme that shocked the entire school in Mobile, Alabama. As always, they dressed identically, wearing matching jeans, tops, and hairstyles. The only difference? Gigi's light-colored boots and Fifi's dark ones. But today, Gigi wasn't basking in their victory. She was worried. "Another one," Fifi said, showing her phone to her sister between classes. The email was brief but chilling. "I'm watching you. You think you're so smart. We'll see." "That's the fifth one this week," Gigi said, her genius mind already analyzing patterns. "We need to tell someone." Fifi shook her head, her common sense kicking in. "And say what? Some coward is sending mean emails? The police won't do anything until something actually happens." "That's what I'm afraid of," Gigi whispered. The next day, Fifi didn't show up for first period. Or second. By lunch, Gigi's worry had transformed into full-blown panic. She called Fifi's phone, straight to voicemail. She checked every bathroom, every classroom, the library, the cafeteria. Nothing. Gigi's hands trembled as she dialed 911, then her parents. "Fifi's been kidnapped," she said, her voice cracking. "I know it. The stalker, he took her." Within an hour, police swarmed the school. But Gigi couldn't just wait. She found Billy Bob in the computer lab, the 10-year-old genius who'd skipped so many grades he was already in high school. "I need your help," Gigi said. "Fifi's gone." Billy Bob's eyes widened behind his thick glasses. "What do you need?" "Everything you've got." They started by retracing Fifi's steps. Billy Bob checked security footage while Gigi searched the grounds. Behind the school, near the dumpsters, Billy Bob spotted something. "Gigi, over here." Fifi's phone lay in the trash can, screen cracked but still functional. Billy Bob's fingers flew across his laptop as he connected the phone. "I'm pulling up her emails now. Look at this. Dozens of messages from the stalker." Gigi read over his shoulder, her stomach churning. The messages had grown increasingly threatening over the past 2 weeks. "Can you trace them?" she asked. Billy Bob's face fell. "Whoever this is knows what they're doing. They're using VPNs, proxy servers, the works. I can't get a location." Gigi slammed her fist on the table. "There has to be something." Miles away, Fifi sat on a bed in a large, windowless room, or almost windowless. The space was surprisingly well equipped. A bed, a full bathroom with a shower, a coffee bar, a table, a refrigerator stocked with food, and a medium-sized smart TV with a remote. But the massive iron door and the camera mounted in the corner told her everything she needed to know. She was a prisoner. The camera's bright red light stared at her constantly. Fifi had been watching it, timing it, using her common sense to find a pattern. And she'd found one. Every night between 11 p.m. and 11:30, the light went out. On her second night of captivity, Fifi put her plan into action. She took a long shower, changed into the pajamas her captor had left for her, and climbed into bed. She lay still, watching the camera from the corner of her eye. At exactly 11 p.m., the red light blinked off. Fifi sprang from the bed and grabbed the TV remote. Her hand shook as she navigated to the smart TV's browser and opened Facebook. She typed a message to Gigi, "I'm alive." Locked in a room. "Don't know where exactly, but," She paused, looking up at the small window above the TV. Through it, she could see lights in the distance. And there, illuminated against the night sky, was a billboard she recognized. It advertised Johnson's Furniture, and she'd seen it 100 times driving with her parents. I can see the Johnson's Furniture billboard from here. The one near the Walmart on Highway 93. I'm close to there. Hurry. She sent the message, shut off the TV, and dove back into bed. Her heart pounded as she watched the seconds tick by on the digital clock. 11:28, 11:29, 11:30, the red light flickered back on. Fifi closed her eyes and forced her breathing to slow. Whoever was watching wouldn't know she'd just sent a lifeline to her sister. Back at school, Gigi and Billy Bob had worked through the night in the computer lab. Police were investigating, but Gigi knew they needed more. The breakthrough came the next morning. A detective called with news they'd found fingerprints on Fifi's phone. Prints belonged to Marcus Hendricks, a high school student who'd recently moved back to Mobile after living in Montgomery for 2 years. Marcus Hendricks? Gigi's mind raced. I remember him. He was a bully. Fifi embarrassed him in front of everyone during freshman year when he tried to intimidate her. She made some witty comeback that had the whole cafeteria laughing. People don't forget humiliation, Billy Bob said quietly. Gigi's phone buzzed. Facebook message. From Fifi. Billy Bob, Gigi screamed. She's alive. She messaged me. They read the message together, and Billy Bob immediately pulled up a map. Johnson's Furniture billboard, Highway 93. I'm searching for properties in that area. His fingers danced across the keyboard. Got something. Marcus Hendricks' father, Robert Hendricks, owns a warehouse. It's less than a quarter mile from that billboard. Gigi was already grabbing her jacket. Let's go. Shouldn't we tell the police? Billy Bob asked. We will. But what if they need a warrant? What if it takes too long? We need to confirm she's there first. Billy Bob nodded and called an Uber on his phone. 20 minutes later, they stood outside a gated area surrounding a large warehouse. An electronic lock blinked on the gate, requiring a code. Now what? Billy Bob whispered. Gigi pulled him behind a large bush. We wait. They didn't have to wait long. A white van pulled up to the gate and the driver punched in a code. The gate swung open, and as the van drove through, Gigi and Billy Bob slipped in behind it, staying low and out of sight. The van stopped at the warehouse entrance. The driver honked twice. A door opened and a teenage boy emerged, Marcus Hendricks. He grabbed a bag from the driver, exchanged a few words, and the van drove away. As soon as the van disappeared, Gigi and Billy Bob sprinted toward the warehouse steps. But as they reached them, Gigi grabbed Billy Bob's arm and stopped him. She put a finger to her lips and whispered, Listen! From a window at the side of the steps came a faint sound. Singing. Fifi's voice, humming a tune they'd made up as kids. Gigi peered through the window and saw her sister sitting on a bed, looking directly at the camera in the corner. Suddenly, they heard the sound of a door being unlocked from inside. Run! Gigi hissed. They sprinted to the end of the building and pressed themselves against the wall, hearts pounding. Gigi pulled out her phone and dialed 911. This is Gigi Frontenac. We found my sister. She's being held at the Hendricks warehouse on Highway 93 near the Johnson's Furniture billboard. Kidnapper is Marcus Hendricks. Please hurry. The dispatcher assured her police were on the way, but Gigi heard something that made her blood run cold. Marcus's voice coming from around the corner. "Time for dinner, Fifi. Hope you're hungry." Through the window, they watched Marcus enter Fifi's room carrying a tray. The massive iron door remained open behind him. "This is our chance," Billy Bob whispered. "While he's in there. Are you crazy? He could hurt her or us." But Billy Bob was already moving. 10-year-old genius might have been small, but he was quick. He darted to the open door and grabbed the handle. "Hey!" Marcus shouted, dropping the tray. Billy Bob slammed the iron door shut with all his strength. The lock clicked automatically. "No!" Marcus screamed from inside, pounding on the door. "Let me out!" Gigi ran to the window. "Fifi, are you okay?" Fifi's face appeared at the window, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Gigi, I knew you'd find me." "Stand back from the door," Gigi shouted. Marcus was still pounding and screaming. Fifi moved to the far corner of the room, and Gigi could see her sister's quick thinking. She'd grabbed the TV remote as a potential weapon. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. "The police are coming," Gigi called through the window. "Just hold on." "I'm not going anywhere," Fifi called back, and despite everything, Gigi heard the smile in her sister's voice. "But Gigi, next time I get stalker emails, we're telling someone immediately." "Deal," Gigi laughed, relief flooding through her. 3 police cars screeched into the warehouse lot, followed by an ambulance. Officers surrounded the building, weapons drawn. "They're both inside," Gigi shouted. "My sister Fifi and her kidnapper, Marcus Hendricks. We locked him in with her, but she's safe. She's in the corner away from him." The police worked quickly. They found the key in Marcus's jacket pocket, which he'd left on a chair outside the room. Within minutes, they had the door open. Officers rushed in and handcuffed Marcus while paramedics checked on Fifi. The twins ran to each other, embracing so tightly that neither wanted to let go. "How did you find me?" Fifi asked. "Your message. The billboard." And Billy Bob traced the property records. Gigi turned to their young friend. "Billy Bob, you were amazing." "That move with the door," Billy Bob blushed. "I just did what made sense. We couldn't let him get away. A detective approached them. You 3 are either very brave or very foolish. Probably both. But you saved your sister's life, Gigi. And you, Billy Bob, quick thinking. What about Fifi?" Gigi asked. "She's the one who figured out how to message me. She found the pattern with the camera, used the smart TV, identified her location. She saved herself." The detective smiled. "The fact finders strike again. Though next time, maybe call us before you storm a warehouse?" "Next time," Fifi said, linking arms with her sister. "Let's hope there isn't a next time." But as they walked toward their parents' car, their mother crying, their father trying to stay strong, Gigi and Fifi exchanged a look. They both knew the truth. In a school like Theodore Money High, with mysteries around every corner, there would always be a next time. And the fact finders would be ready. Marcus Hendricks was led away in handcuffs, shouting about how Fifi had humiliated him, how she deserved to be scared, how he just wanted to teach her a lesson. But his words fell on deaf ears. The only lesson learned that day was one he'd never forget. Never underestimate the bond between sisters, the brilliance of a 10-year-old genius, or the power of common sense combined with intelligence. As the sun set over Mobile, Alabama, Gigi looked down at her light-colored boots and then at Fifi's dark ones. "We make a pretty good team," she said. "The best," Fifi agreed. "The best." I hope you liked the story by Sylvester Sco. Be sure to like and subscribe to Sco's Media YouTube channel for more adventures of Gigi and Fifi, the Fact Finders.